Hello and welcome to Paxton TV, Paxton Road TV. I've already lost it already. Well, we're here anyway. That's it. I'm just saying we're here. To the reaction show for the game, Everton versus Spurs, and the score 2-2. It was some game. That's all I can say, some game. Welcome, gentlemen. I'm not going to go into introductions and stuff in terms of going through all the rest, but like I said, welcome everybody into what is going to become known as the viral show, probably. What can we say? It's a game of, we've probably seen this all before. We've seen so many of these type performances. Without our number 10, where would we be? It looks and appears that he's rolled his ankle now, so he may be out for some time. I very much doubt we're going to see Harry Kane in the next few weeks. So I definitely don't think he's playing on the next couple of games, which means he'll probably miss the cup final. But that being said, let's discuss the game today. Before I go into all these details with regards to who we've got on, like, subscribe, share, comment, Paxton Road TV, new channel. We want to get as many subscribers as possible and viewers. And don't forget to leave comments in the comment section below. Those of you who want to say, I'm sure we've got a lot of people on watching, and I can already see the comments are coming through. So, where do I start? I tell you where I'm going to start. I know I want to start. I want to start with Deji Spurs. I'm going to start with Deji Spurs. He's not even in his top. He's not doing anything Spurs related. He's in full armor, geared up, ready to go. And Deji,
cold as well.
He's put his top right up. He's ready to go. Deji,
fully
take it away, my friend. Off you.
Yeah, look, thank you, Sam. Look, I'm grateful. The thing is, I was thinking before I came on tonight what I was going to say. The thing is, I can't. First and foremost, that is a really crap Everton side, and we made that Everton team. We made Sigurdsson look like he was Xavi or Iniesta in that midfield today. And all I can say to you is this: I hope all the Spurs fans that wanted Jose to at least be in a job for the cup final, I really hope you're enjoying yourself. The reason why I'm calling out the Spurs fans that wanted Jose in a job is because I said it weeks ago that we are playing Russian roulette with our club. Russian roulette with our club. And what you can see is the disgusting performance. So bad. So bad. This is what we wanted for that McDonald's Cup. All I can say is it worth it? I can't attack Jose anymore. I can't. We know he's rubbish. It's not a personal thing with Jose. Jose, I'll shake your hand if I see you on the road, but get out of my club. That team is lost in space. They are completely clueless. Spurs fans, are you happy with this? Is this what we sold our soul to the devil for? Because that's not football. Usually, Everton is our whipping boys. That's a guaranteed 3 points. Guaranteed. We've lost twice and drawn one this season. Are we happy with that, Spurs fans? Come on, guys. Enough is enough. I can't, there's nothing football related, I've got to say. All I'm saying now is I'm calling out Spurs fans that said, don't worry, let's keep him in. He's got us to the final. Is it really worth it? That's all I can say. Is it really worth it? And then I'll come back.
This show is sponsored by Deji Spurs. And Deji Spurs has had his say, and we applaud that. I am going to come on to the next person, and I think I'm going to go downstairs to Nigel. Nigel, you're next. Thanos, get them rings out.
Listen. It's been said. We came out I know what I'm going to see when I tune into a Spurs game. A bunch of nothing. I look at the lineup and I see, so he's gone through at the back. So he's literally just throwing crap at the wall again. As we said, he sees something, it doesn't work. He just rolls the dice again. He says, all right, let's try something new. Let's do that. And we take the lead. We're up. Everton peg back, and now we're stuck. Then he has his hissy fit substitutions, right? Harry Kane digs us out of a hole because Harry Kane does what Harry Kane does. But again, just when you look at it, a bunch of nothing, we still don't know what we do. Do you know what I mean? We don't know what we do. There's just no point of even expecting anything different. We can't beat a team unless they play a high line and Kane and Son have 40 yards to. I mean, Bale and Son have 40 yards to run into. It's all we can do. That's it.
Thank you there. That's well said. Well said. I'm going to go back upstairs now. Darius, 3K. Give your thoughts on the game.
I don't really want to give my thoughts on the game like Deji. I don't think games like that deserve analysis because there's not really much to talk about in those sorts of games. It was awful. And I said I'm keeping track of when I'm actually saying these times. I think it was about 10 minutes or so. I said, this is it. I said to Sam, I was like, this is it. It's not the one. And Ndombele from 10 minutes in was having a shocker. Hojbjerg got booked. Knew from then on he wasn't going to be able to play his game properly. It was just every single player played bad. Every single player played bad. And every single game that's happened in these past 5 or 6 games, it seems like the first game we lost, we could say, right, maybe the players are the issue. And then it seems like the good players are getting played and then they're having bad games. And now it's like, okay, Son's having stinkers and Ndombele's having stinkers. Hojbjerg's having stinkers. At that point, and I've been at this point for weeks, but at this point now in this game, and I'm going to keep saying it every single week until something changes, there's no other person that can be blamed for Jose. Moussa Sissoko started the game when we had 3 at the back. We had 3 at the back, and then we still decided to start Moussa Sissoko. And he had probably the worst game I've seen a Spurs player play in a long time. I picked him out. Me and Sam watched him individually sometimes, and he was pointing to where he should be going to the ball. He was pointing to where he should be pressing. He was letting the ball go past him. There was attacks being created literally around Sissoko, and it's like we're playing with 10 men. No team can do that. When you've got somebody like that walking around the pitch, you can't expect players to play better. So it just makes everyone else look worse. But the reason that he's playing and the reason that he's starting is because Jose Mourinho is, for some reason, wanting to play him. And for me, I'm sick and tired of it. And I 100% wholeheartedly now have to agree with Deji because I've seen enough now. The guy can't do nothing. He isn't going to do anything in the final. So why not just try something else? Because he's not got a clue. He's not got a clue. There's me, a 20-year-old guy who literally sitting in his room talking about Tottenham. I shouldn't really be saying this about Jose Mourinho, but the guy is literally keeping on Moussa Sissoko. And he took, I just can't think what the reasons are, apart from he just doesn't know what he's doing anymore and he's just given up. And I'm not having somebody do that in my club when we've got things to play for and we had things to play for.
I'll take a little bit of it. As I said, I've tried to be as positive I can about the manager in terms of, players' availability, players, it's not playing or whatever it is, not good enough. But if he can keep on, as I said to Darius, and he's mentioned already, if he can keep on Moussa Sissoko for 90 minutes, I watched him clearly for a long time in this game, and I said, I'm going to watch this guy because I'm not going to just single at him because obviously there was a lot of bad performances. But the reason I come back to him is because he didn't need to be on the pitch today. We could have played a more attacking player because we had a 3-5-2. There was no need to have Hojbjerg and Sissoko to then make a back line of 7 or whatever it was going to be. It made no sense. And then I watched him play. And the guy kept pointing. The people were running side by side, and he was just almost like he was almost just trying to keep up with them, and he didn't do anything. And again, it goes back to the point about he's I don't know what he's got over this manager. And the manager keeps playing this guy in certain games. He keeps playing this guy in certain games, and when we even had an opportunity to bring on the attacking players, which we did. We brought on more and we brought on Lamela. The players he took off, I agree, maybe Regan wasn't having the best of games. Yeah, I can understand that. Ndombele possibly had a bit of an injury. Maybe that's the reason why he come off. But he never took that guy off for 90 minutes.
What, Dyer or Lucas left back as well?
He then went freestyle. He then threw Lucas on. And the reason why I'm going to have a go at Jose tonight is because he sat down for pretty much 90 minutes. You know when Jose gets up and he's animated and he does this and he's all over the place. Even when he's playing bad, he does all this. The guy got up for the substitution and sat back down. He was like that. That for me means that I don't think he doesn't care anymore. I think he's now just saying to the players, yeah, because he even said that in his pre-match interview, we're just going to go for it. There didn't even seem to be any structure. There was no plan. Players just seem to be playing for themselves. Hojbjerg got a yellow card after 5 minutes. and he had to play within himself. Again, if you're going to make substitutions, why not take him off? Because he didn't play much better after that.
I thought Højbjerg was the worst on the pitch, mate.
He was terrible.
He was, and I honestly think, and I agree with all the comments here, and I don't rate number 17, but Højbjerg was far worse tonight than number 17. He's like, the amount of times he gave the ball away was just for Højbjerg. It's just unacceptable, because I think with Højbjerg we've probably come accustomed to him being so integral to how we play. He is generally sort of one of our top performers, but tonight him and Reguilon were pony. I honestly say, this is just my opinion, I honestly think Højbjerg was the worst player on the pitch tonight.
There was a lot of bad performances. Simon, I'm going to come down to you. You might give a bit more of a balanced perspective. I want to hear your thoughts, then we're going to come to you as well, Shai.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, as I said, first of all, we gave a very bad Everton side today. 18 shots on goal, guys, and 53% of ball possession. Absolutely shocking. And I can see what the two guys were saying about Jose. They literally can't defend him no more. After that performance, guys, it's very hard to not agree with these two guys defending Jose. But I think people know what my perspective with Jose at the minute. It's not just Jose at this club. It literally goes to the top, to the bottom.
I agree.
It's not just one person. It's not just one person. But I can see where they're coming from. I mean, it sees decision making. It's very poor. It's very poor. He's very slow at making substitutions, very slow at making decisions and things like that. And I think the setup tonight with Dyer playing, he should not be nowhere near his team. Eric Dyer should not be nowhere near his team. Playing three at the back against Everton.
15,
absolutely crazy.
15.
Seriously. Absolutely.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
15, there
was something in the commentary that just made me think. They just said if Everton hadn't scored that goal, there was no way Jose was going to make them substitutions of Lamela and also Moura. He wouldn't have brought them on.
As well. Remember, he actually only made 2 substitutions because he brought on Ali for Kane in the 90th minute. So he didn't actually use all of his substitutions either. So that's another thing that I want to call out as well.
Absolutely no excuses. If the man, and this is what's really paining me, because I'm struggling to just kind of, the manager thing, because even if we was to change managers now, it's not something that was going to be able to just give us. It might give us an immediate bounce. It might give us some. I don't know. It might just bring some players out. But we know that there are players that need to go. We know that there's players that are not good enough. But there's no forgiving in some of the decisions that were made tonight. And even in game, as I said, I've managed. I'm not saying I'm Jose Mourinho. Of course I'm not. But I know how to manage a team of footballers. And what I saw tonight was a manager who sat down and looked and just said, "I'm just going to let them play. There's nothing I can do." Or there's nothing I want to do. There's nothing I can say to these guys. I'm just going to throw them on. He threw Moura on, and it's literally just Moura was playing as left wing back. Moura can't play wing back. He cannot play wing back, and he can't play He can't play left wing back because he's not going to be able to go on the outside because he has no left foot. We know that. We've seen Moura on his left foot, so that's unforgivable. You can't just throw players on. If you're going to play someone as a wing back, put a left-sided player on there. He could have put Lamela there. This is the sort of things, even if you're making mistakes like that, that generally says to me, he doesn't care. And if he doesn't care...
We've been doing this since the beginning of the season, just random things that we would try to... We would just do players in stupid positions, and we've had arguments about his substitutions from the very beginning. It's nothing new. Nothing's changed.
Shai, you've been quiet in there. I know we've all had a little bit of a rant. It's your turn now. It's your turn. You're on solo.
Yeah. There's 3 points I want to bring up. The first point is I think Simon was on the blower to Jose last night in terms of the team selection. That's the first thing I want to bring up. So that's definitely happened between now and then. The second thing is I'm a Catholic, so I want to say God bless Michael Keane and Harry Kane for tonight, because if it wasn't for them two, it would have been even worse.
Facts.
And I'm just apologise because I'm looking at my phone because I write notes and my notes says crap. And that's about it, really. I don't know. Honestly, I mean, going back to Jose, I was going to say exactly what you said, Sam. I've managed youth team football. I've managed adult teams. At the end of the day, I'm quite an animated manager. I'm passionate on the sideline. I'm enthusiastic, and I'm positive to all the players. You know, that's the way I do it. When I'm seeing a Jose sitting there in the chair with nothing on his face, and you're supposed to be leading by example, you are kind of the leader of the team in a sense, and you're sitting there showing nothing. That's just awful for me. His again, reactive substitutions, not proactive. At 1-1, there's no proactiveness there. Let's go out and win this game. No, we go down again. Oh, well, I'm going to bring something on to try and react to what's happened. Not let's be proactive and make something happen and win the game. So very from Mourinho's side of things, extremely disappointed there. Like we said, I mean, look, you've got Reguilon and Aurier playing, and you're playing 3 centre backs. I didn't see much attacking intent from either fullback today.
I didn't even get onto that. I didn't even get. Oh, that's. I didn't even get onto that. Oh my God! The thing we've been calling out. Sorry, Shah. The thing we've been calling out for is for players like Aurier, who's better going forward than he's defending. Reguilon again has probably proved he's better going forward than defending. So you play a system, and again at the start of the game, I get some of the players I didn't want to see playing, but I could accept playing 3 at the back because Everton matching up with them and giving the strengths to the players that can play well in that position, Aurier and Reguilon. But whether they were told to attack or not, I cannot get my head around it because they were both, to say poor is understated. They were terrible. They were terrible today. Aurier was awful. Reguilon was awful. And it went through the whole team. Like I think Mike touched on that. Was it only Lloris and maybe had a decent game? And he still picked the ball out of his net twice. And he probably would have done it a few more times had it not been for poor finishing by Everton. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. And we can't go on to watch a team with a manager who now is just watching us play. I think he does. He's done. I personally think he's done in terms of wanting this team to progress. Now, whether or not the board is going to make a decision on that, I don't know. And I'm not going to start to say, "Oh, Jose." What I'm saying is, the manager looks like he said to himself, "I can't do anymore. I can't do any more with these players."
It's just been announced.
Thing is, though, what's the alternative?
Is that Kane out for the season? I'm seeing.
Yeah. What's the alternative?
No.
So what do we do? If you get Mourinho out, what then? What are we going to
do? Better than this.
Mike, I hear what you're saying, but I think that's the stuff that our Spurs fans are saying, and it's slightly putting us in this mess because Jose definitely look. I call it hit and hope football. You can tell that during the week, the Spurs fans for training, they've just been jogging and doing the bleed test. That's about it. There hasn't been any tactics.
Well, they don't even look fit, Deji. So how is that even possible?
They're just running around Hotspur way, and then when they finish, they go for a shower, they get in their cars, and they go home because it's hit and hope football. And I said it a couple of weeks ago. Jose Mourinho is on 15 million a year. We are Tottenham. We don't spend that type of money on a manager unless we are expecting to see big things.
Agreed.
He's on the same wages as Pep.
Agreed.
And I ain't seen nothing apart from he literally unraveled all the good work that Poch did over 5 years. He has literally unraveled it in 18 months. We can't keep saying who we're going to bring in. It's too expensive to get rid of Jose. If we keep him, it's going to cost us more. It's already costing us. Half decent players no longer know how to play football. I said it the other week, jokes aside. Sissoko played and started in the Champions League final. That means he was good enough to play under Poch. And I believe in Poch. Look at him. Look what he's doing at PSG. Yeah? Now, Sissoko, Reguilon now, Højbjerg, Ndombele. It used to just be Sissoko who had the dose of the Space Jam juice. Now the whole squad looks like we got to go now. All of us on the panel, we got to go into space and we got to go to some alien planet and try and get the talent back so we can have a half decent season. That's what's happening, guys.
I have to agree.
Kane being out for so that's definitely now confirmed on that. And I said that I knew when I saw that twist. That's the same ankle that he's twisted on a number of occasions, and I was just surprised it's taken until what we in April. I thought it might have happened earlier in the season, but like Spurs, what luck do we have that in the last 2 minutes of a game, because it was in 90, it was 90 minutes plus.
Let's just back up. Just back up on the Kane thing. I think it's safe to say there is not going to be one club in the country that's going to pay 150 million for Kane. He's staying at Spurs now. There's no one that's going to pay. That's the saving grace. Kane ain't going nowhere now. Let's be honest.
Kane may not go anywhere, but if Kane starts to get the same sort of attitude as and I don't expect him to. That's the one thing about Harry Kane. I don't expect. And as you, Shai, I'm not Catholic, but I'm going to pray. I am going to pray that Harry Kane does not get the same attitude as some of these other players who have decided they're not playing. Because I can clearly see, as I said, I'm not a top-level manager, but I can clearly see. I think we can all clearly see when players have just said, I don't really piss. But when they walk around and they walk next to a player and they run alongside him and they start pointing over there, that tells me that player doesn't know what he's doing or doesn't care what he's doing. And if Harry Kane starts to get into that same mindset, which a lot of these players are in at this current time, we are effed. And I'm talking proper effed.
I don't think Kane's going to be like... I honestly... I don't think it matters who's in. If Kane's on that pitch, I think he's too professional to be like... to act like a mercenary like that. I honestly think he will still be as professional as he can be. I mean, like tonight, even if it was a case of, flipping out, this lot is shite, I'm not going to play. What's the point? But he still bangs in 2 goals. Yeah, I just don't think that's Kane. I think he's too professional for him to lower his standards and dignity to that level of just playing to, well, not even playing, just turning up, but ensuring the manager gets the heave-ho. I just don't think that's Kane. I don't think that's Son either.
I'm going to come to a few comments before I come back, and I want to come back to you, Simon, and start to you a couple of questions of just about where we go from here. So, right, Jose out. Cryptic Crimson has basically said that. We've got Paul saying our season is over like that. Kane is leaving. Son might leave. I don't know what is wrong with us. We made them look like prime Barca. Zach here. Kane is better, more professional version of Lee Trun, but in... Oh, that's Zach. he's got that guy indeed. Marlon, 3 at the back and 2 holding midfielders. I'm baffled. Marlon, I completely agree.
You know what's crazy though? That goal that Sigurdsson scored, we have 3 centre backs, 2 holding midfielders, and no one was near him.
no one around.
I thought, actually, to be fair, there's 2 players on that pitch that I thought had decent games. I think Lloris can hold his head up high. I think he had a good game. He couldn't do anything about those goals, but I thought Rodon again looked.
I thought Rodon was okay.
I thought he looked good, and do you know what? I do honestly think that he will be a top defender. He's still very young, but he looked calm, assured. He didn't lose position either. I rate him highly. I do rate him highly.
Go on, Shai. Go on.
Sorry, that's fine. No, for me, he looked the most composed player on the pitch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and considering he's the youngest in the back line and he's centre of Toby and Dyer, he looked the most composed defender there
100%.
On the ball. I mean, listen, all right, he had more time on the ball most of the time because he was playing in that position. But to be fair, I didn't see him get flustered once on the ball. Not at all. And not when he was the defending either.
Yeah, and can I couple with that also? I just think that personally, just putting somebody next to somebody who's competent, or just somebody who's not even competent, who's got leadership qualities. And I know Ruben Diaz is Ruben Diaz, and he's obviously a world-class centre-back, but bringing him in next to Stones, if we bring in somebody, for example, like the rumours are Joachim Anderson, he is a commanding centre-back. You will see Rodon's level and ability go up with a better centre-back with him. And I'm following on from that point. I just want to make a point about Toby. When Jose plays these players and he doesn't play Toby, and he constantly plays Dyer and he constantly plays Sanchez, and then Toby plays, and Toby had a stinker today, I think. I don't think Toby played well at all.
No, he didn't play well.
I think that we expect too much from Toby. He's a good centre back, but he's 31, 32. We're expecting him to be a world-class centre back still. And we could see he was declining anyway. So Jose, by playing these worst players and then us like saying, we need Toby, because we were all saying that. And then if he has a bad game, I don't really want to get onto Toby because it's like, well, I wouldn't have been like that if you were playing every other game before that. Do you know what I mean? So Toby having a stinker, it isn't. I'm not really going to be bothered about that one as much.
I mean, I think with Toby, he played on the right hand side of that back three. He personally, if you're going to play Toby in that back three, he's got to be in the centre.
Yeah.
Although you can argue, I mean, Rodon justified himself in that middle of the three because he had a good game, but Toby should have been in the middle there.
I can give you the reasons for why. From a tactical point of view, Rodon is a better headerer in terms of defensive headering than Toby Alderweireld. Toby Alderweireld is good attacking, but he's not. No. I'm telling you that. Watch the goals that have been conceded by Toby Alderweireld in terms of he can attack and he scores goals from headers, but defensive headers, he's not good. Dyer's not good. Rodon is the best of the three in terms of defending headers. That's why he played centre. You would hope that crosses coming, the player that's central of the three is the one that's going to really make the headers because they should be in and around the 6-yard box, in and around the penalty spot. Toby Alderweireld can't defend headers very well, in my opinion. But I've watched and seen enough goals going to that rate. Heading wise, because he hit the post from his header when he was attacking. So yeah, going up, doing that, brilliant. But defending wise, he's not great. For a 23-year-old to be in the centre of our back three and to be as commanding as he did says an awful lot. Yeah. Toby cannot be that bad a player. We know he's not got the legs that he used to have. We know that Jose has fallen out of him, and now, as Darius said, he's brought him back into the fold. What do you expect? If you was in that position, you're outcast, whatever it is, you're telling the press that the guy he's failed his COVID test or whatever it is, but the guy's been training on a Wednesday. You then bring him back into a game and expect him to just go, all right, that's fantastic. Never going to happen. Simon, Simon, where do you think we go from here?
Oh, Jesus, flipping Christ.
Easy question there. Easy question, sir.
I'm just throwing him in now. I'm throwing him in. I don't care. I'm just throwing him in now.
Just going back on guys quickly on about Jose Mourinho. All I can say is blame the balls. Blame the ball. They're the one who's hired is flipping Jose Mourinho, and they're the one they knew exactly what Jose Mourinho was about. So I'll say just blame the flipping ball for this. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not Jose's fault. He's coming to the club. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we know he's made so
Simon, surely, as Deji was saying, a manager that's being paid 50 million, the most decorated manager in recent times in football. I don't care how bad things get, you should still be able to tactically do something. Even if you can't tactically do something, there's enough about him to be able to motivate players. He sat down for the whole game. He didn't get up once to do any director. I never saw him do that. I never even saw any of his backroom staff do any of that today. Ledley King didn't do nothing. Nobody did a thing. No, that's inexcusable. When we need to win a game, you try to win a game. As I keep saying,
this is no different to Poch's last season in his reign. These players are just mercenaries, mate. They are literally. They've done what they're doing. To like with Mourinho, we can say what we think about Mourinho. Yeah, we all pretty much on the same page with regards to Mourinho. But it can't be any coincidence that what we're seeing now I'm just getting deja vu from Poch's his last season with Spurs. I'm just seeing the same stuff. These players are just hanging the managers out to dry. And if we bring in another manager, surely that's career suicide for them, because what are they going to be able to do with these players when they just act like that?
If he's got an idea, then surely, like if a manager comes in and he's got an idea and he can say to this team, like, look, I'm going to play this formation, or we're going to play this way, and if you see results from it, it's going to work, then I think that players can be on board. And also just on the fact that we all think a way about Jose and we can blame the players and this and that. Poch at least got 4 years of non-stop hard work, relentless 100%. Pressing, and at least they finished in. Obviously, they didn't win anything, and I know we can go back to the whole 4th place. Is it a success? Whatever. But at least they finished consistently in the Champions League. They got to the final of the Champions League, and you could clearly see that there was a massive difference from when he took over to the end, or maybe the year, obviously the year before.
Why did they stop playing for him?
Jose's had 9
I don't think they stopped playing.
9 signings.
Sorry,
Deji. Go on, Deji.
I think under Poch, we ran out of steam.
Yeah, it's just like Klopp and Dortmund.
Yeah. But under Jose, we just ain't got a clue. And there's
I agree.
The difference. We ran out of steam under Poch, we ain't got a clue under Jose. And I think that's the fundamental difference. And that's why I'm so angry. Look, Mike, me and you can go, I kid you not, and we pull it out there, we've done it before. Me and you are now offering our services to take over that job, and
I'll do it for free, Deji.
I'll do it
no win, no fee. I'm telling you, look, Che and Sam, both managers, they will do a better job with our team. Sometimes when you look everything, when I listen to you guys, one of the reasons why I love and I'm grateful to be on the panel with you guys is because you guys understand football, and I'm not just stroking your ego. You saw the lineup and you knew it was wrong. We knew it was wrong. Even our WhatsApp group, we were already messaging each other saying he's lost it. He hasn't got a clue. That's because Jose doesn't have a clue. And I think that's why we got to stand up and say enough is enough. I'm seeing other... How come Spurs fans, as fans, we know the right 11? I think today, the system was all wrong. You can't play the system we play today when Everton have Davis in the midfield. Are you joking?
Oh, God.
No Decore,
Oh, God.
yeah?
Please,
There's
that's
no
even
Calvert
worse
Lewin
for
on
me.
the pitch. What are we doing having 3 at the back? I mean, this is not rocket science. Look at their weaknesses.
They didn't even have
the 3 at the back.
have their best.
If he was going to have, sorry, I was just going to say, if he was going to have 3 at the back, maybe Toby wasn't the right person to have in the back. He should have put Tanganga for his pace and his energy, and probably his will to. He's probably got a stronger will than some of those players on the pitch to win. So maybe Toby wasn't the right, or Dyer, one of them.
I'll be honest with you, Mike. I don't think any player that played today would have been able to get the. I don't think some of these players are playing for the manager. I can see that. We can see that. And you can throw anybody you want in there. We could throw Sanchez back in there and say, "Oh, Sanchez should have played." We know what Sanchez has been like all season. If he was starting this game today, we would have thrown every toy in the world out the pram because we know that he's not good enough. If we'd have seen him play, if we'd have seen Doherty play, again, we would have been like, what the F he's doing? It doesn't matter what players he brings in. We were just not good enough because the manager has now set certain things into these players' psyche to make them believe right now, oh, God, I'm not going to have to play. He's maybe just kind of like on the sidelines for this last 4 weeks. He probably hasn't even spoke to some of them. And now he wants me to come in and perform. That doesn't work in football. That does not work.
The thing is, though, with these same players, I honestly think, regardless of whoever we bring in, all we're going to see is a repeat of this. We're all going to get deja vu in 18 months' time. It's the same with the same players, mate. It's just going to be the same crap.
I just want to say,
so unless we get rid of these players, unless we get rid of these players. Like there's 10 of them on that list. There's 10 of those players in that squad that just need to go in the summer. One way or another, they need to go for any manager to come in and stand half a chance of being successful.
Nah, but the thing is, like I say, Mike, whenever we look at the Spurs squad, there's weaknesses. But then, honestly, whenever we look at it, every time we can say this is not the best version of that Spurs squad. We always know there's players within that squad that are disgruntled. We always know the formation's wrong. We always know the substitutions are messed up. We can't single out a system. And we saw some of these same players do it at the highest level. And every other club, most clubs change their manager and things change. We've just seen it with Mourinho's last job. The same players that he was telling were useless have now turned it around and they're top. And he said that's my biggest career achievement. So I'm not convinced that it's just the fact of get Mourinho out and get the players out. I'm not convinced that this is the best we can see from the players. Because Mourinho as well, he's had some good signings. Like Bergwijn isn't a bum.
Where is he? What's happened to him?
Give him another man. Reguilon is not a bum. Like he's had some good players that have come in under him, but they just doesn't.
That was a Mourinho signing though. There's 3 players that Mourinho signed: Reguilon, Rodon, and Bergwijn. And yet those 3 are genuinely good players. Yeah. The rest of them, he didn't want them. He didn't want.
But even if I give him that, right? is this, if we hired a new manager, would he not be doing better than this? Like this can't be it.
But this is the thing, though. With
Nigel,
these same
you're spot
players,
on, Nigel.
with these same
Let me
players,
just come to this comment. I'm just going to read this comment out from Bob because it's a really good comment here. Is there anyone left to defend Jose? Yes, players are average, but how long will Jose constantly hide behind his players and make a mockery of tactics, substitution, and the club? Today, we can't get away from that fact. I can't. As much as I would like to defend Jose, I can't today. I cannot, because the man did not do a thing. And the thing is, what he's playing these games, he's saying, "Oh, it's not a must-win game today." That sold me again. This guy is playing these mind games. By saying that, we've got a draw. So he can say, well, it wasn't a must-win game, we've drawn. The fact we're going on about is because we all know, in order for us to have any slim chance of getting in the top four, we had to win today. And even then, by winning the 7 games, we're still having a very slim chance. So he's playing games now, and these games are not going to work because players have seen through this shit. They've seen through the shit. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, and I was just going to test our resolve as Spurs fans. So with everything that we've said, we've all agreed that Jose is not the guy for the job. Does Jose stay in charge of our club for this weekend's final? I'm putting that to the panel.
Yeah.
I think it's just nothing now. It's nothing now.
Oh, that's a real tough one.
It's just nothing. Kane's out now. It's nothing.
I've been saying it. I've been seeing it.
That's a tough one.
You know where I stand on this, but I want to hear what my colleagues on the panel. Does Jose stay to walk us out in the final, or does he leave before the final and we get fresh blood in before we hit the hollow turf?
Shy, I'm going to come to Shy first because Shy's been a bit quiet. I'm going to come to him first on this one.
Oh, sorry, I've got to go now. Sorry. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I think what I would ask is, who could we bring in realistically? Exactly. Who could we bring in at this stage of the season that's going to make that difference? I mean, you could say anybody would. It's quite easy to say that because of what's going on. But I'd probably ask the question: if I could bring somebody in who is going to make that difference, then fair enough. But I'm not sure who. I joked about a few weeks back on a few pods saying Harry Redknapp for a laugh. But actually, it's not looking it's not looking that funny anymore. It might have to be.
And you know what I mean? So, you know what it is? I think it's now a case of we just need to get these players to play. And I know we talk about a manager that can come in and they're going to have the same problems. Yeah, they'll have the same problems later on down the line. But what you will get, I don't even think they've got anybody. I don't know if they've got someone in mind, but they're not going to be able to prize someone away of quality to come in now. Even a new manager bounce may get us a couple of games, 2 or 3 or 4 games, which might give us an opportunity to win the next game against Southampton, to win the cup final potentially. It's not looking great against Man City at the moment, particularly with our best player who's scored 40-odd goals this season now for us. It's going to be a really, really tough ask. As you were saying, Deji, for Jose to lead them players out, he's going to have to bring in players that he clearly has alienated. That's my issue now. He's going to have to bring in players that will have to only play for their own pride in terms of wanting to win a trophy. Because if he has no tactics against Manchester City and he plays this defending, we can't defend. We've seen 3 at the back, doesn't work. We've seen 2 at the back, don't work. We've seen 10 at the back sometimes, don't work. We can't defend. So what are we going to do tactically to beat a team like Manchester City? I don't know. And that's my point.
And this is the thing, though. Like, you can't
be a big team.
You can't bring in a caretaker like Ledley King or Mason, or you just they're not. It's just
we missed the boat. Like we've been saying 5 region for so long. We missed the boat. Someone might have come in and thought something, but it's like the boat.
And this is
2 games into the season.
It's so true. And then I'm gonna keep using the example. I'm gonna keep using it. Lampard didn't do terribly. Was actually doing all right in the Champions League. Wasn't doing great in the league. But if you see a better opportunity, why are you gonna persist? And this is why I agree. Like, this is why and Deji, I'm sorry, because I keep flip-flopping on this. After the game, I was like, Jose can go now, I don't care. But then I just think there's no point. What's the point? So I'd rather you it's nothing now at the end of the season. Kane's out, it's nothing. So just see out the end of the season, make sure he doesn't get another year, and actually go and reinvest, because like Nigel said, we could have gone somewhere maybe if things were going a little bit worse, like in January, because we wouldn't have sacked him in January. But if we had sacked him in January, for example, at least the manager would have had 6 months. There's no point now. There's about a few weeks left of the season. So next season, there has to be some sort of plan. If he stays, God forbid if he stays, at least show me the players that aren't going to play, get rid of them, because it's just there's going to be no point in them being in the team. But if you are going to get rid of him, and I'm seeing so many rumors and I've seen so many different things online now, it seems inevitable to me now. It seems like he really understands that it's inevitable, and he realizes I'm still going to get 30 mil, so I don't really mind.
Jose looked like he was, and I hate to use the phrase, he looked like a dead man walking. And when he sat down and did that, he did that quite... When that first goal went in, and you know, you could kind of say, it's like, oh, what's going on here? Then they got a goal back straight away. It was like, oh God. And it was like, that was it. He didn't move again from that. He started to write down notes, and then after that, he never wrote a thing down anymore. He didn't look at that notepad. He didn't talk to his sisters. He just sat in that chair. He didn't turn to them. Now, obviously, we don't see everything on there, but every time the camera panned on him, he was looking on the pitch just like that. And we can do that. I was doing it on the TV. So again, I think you're right, though. I think, and I agree with you, Mike. We can't just say, "Oh, Jose out now," and wing it for the final, because we ain't got a plan to bring anybody else in.
You can't wing it for 7 games.
You can't wing it now. But who have we got? Harry Redknapp. I'm calling you out, Harry. Harry, listen, get on the blower. Jesus Christ, what am I doing?
And
tag him.
I just want to say, it's the point that Nigel makes about this is not the best Spurs. Is it sticks so much because there's so much more we could see. It's not even the fact that I understand there are some players, but Jose Mourinho tactically, I think, has lost it. But also as a man manager, it's just not going to work with the modern player. The modern player doesn't really take well 100%. To criticism. 100%. And he said something about 23-year-olds 10 years ago or something were men, and 23-year-olds now are brats. Maybe you're right, but as a manager, you are meant to work with personalities and work to the best of people's abilities. So you're not meant to make things worse for people. You're meant to make things as good as you can for people. So that's why I can't agree with his tactical, do you know when he says, oh, same coach, different players? I can't agree with that, because that makes you look worse. It shows that you're being stubborn and not willing to change. And if you maybe just said, I can give you a chance, or you're not as bad, or I'm not going to just leave you out of the squad. Maybe if you gave them a chance, they might be like, okay, well, I'm not playing, but at least he might still give me a chance. He might still want to play, but he doesn't give himself that chance. He doesn't give himself a safety net. And then when it all blows up, it's like, oh, well, now what? But we said, we could see this happening from ages ago. We could see this happening.
Let's come to a few comments, because we've got loads of comments coming through. So Marlon Bashman, we lack creativity. Don't know what he is thinking. Who can break the press and play a good pass from the 2 holding and 5 at the back? Self-sabotage. Again, number 17 can't pass. He can't run. He can't shoot. He can't head. He can't play football. How the hell is he going to make forward passes to create something for us? It was an impossible job. It really was. As Lance said, Harry Kane is the 7th all-time scorer in the PL, but the only one man on the list that never won a trophy if he becomes first. 2nd all-time worth without any silverware. What's his legacy? Well, I don't know. I don't really want to go into that. We can probably talk about Harry Kane on another show. I swear people back in Marina concern me. That's Marlon. Wow. So how much you really rely on Kane? What happens if he did leave? Well, again, that's for another show. Spurs related. Whoever's putting Kane out for a season is making that up.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a...
it's nothing out. It's nothing out about it.
Okay. So Kane will play in the final.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. Jose's been like that all season. He shows no passion on the touchline. He just sits there like a spectator. Well, he hasn't. He has shown passion before, because I've seen him show the passion.
I've seen it.
Whether or not he's tactically been able to get players to do what he wants, that's a different matter. But I've seen him show passion. I've seen Jose get up, give players a right earache. He didn't give anybody any earache. Doherty is one of them players that can't play because Jose gave him earache. Do you know what I'm saying? He's broken his confidence.
Can you give anyone earache at the moment, given how fragile this squad just seems to be? Like, if you give them earache, even though they deserve it, I mean, at full time, Mourinho should be in the change room, lock the key, and just let that whole squad have a good old scrap, fight it out, argue, do what they've got to do. Because 9 times out of 10, once you've done that, you kind of end up with like, okay, we've cleared the air. Let's move on now, and we can sort of start again and collect and sort of act as a collective and move forward. But
I'll tell you what, Mike, you could make a good documentary about that.
Imagine being a fan.
We've seen that happen. Lloris and Son were fighting, weren't they? And like, there wasn't really much of a...
That's passion. That shows me passion. That shows me that they care. If they're just sitting in the change room like, oh, shoulders shrugged, give a shit, let's just move on. Next game. 7 games left.
So can I just say something before I just want to say something, Deja, I'm going to come to you in a minute, but I just want to ask, like you did, you threw out a question in there, which is really good. So my question is, given that we've got another game to play before the final, let's say we didn't win that game and we lost against Southampton, who have been absolutely abysmal, right? Abysmal. Western Everton, abysmal. Let's say, for argument's sake, we don't win that game. Then what? Who wants to take that one?
Well, yeah, sorry guys. This is probably the last comment I'm going to make. The last 5 minutes, I don't know if anyone noticed, I've been touching my cap because Dele Alli this week on his Instagram live, they said if you wanted for 5 minutes, just so we're clear. No, in relation to if we lose to Southampton, which I think is possible. When we beat Southampton 5-2, remember that the first half, Southampton did tear us apart, by the way.
They battered us. They battered us.
And I think the scoreline flattered to deceive. If we lose that, I would say, what's the point? I mean, I'm hearing comments from colleagues. I agree. If we're going to stick with Jose, stick with Jose. The only thing I will say is that if we're going to lose, then we might as well make money from it. So this is not financial advice for those of you watching, but I have a score prediction of 5-0 City. And if Kane doesn't start, then 8-0. You stick a tenner on it, and right now, you make some money. Like, I'm a Spurs fan. It hurts me to say that. But the only thing that can bring me joy is to make money from the game. So I'll be better than game. So that's about it.
I just want to say, I'm so happy it's Southampton that we're playing because that's probably the best team that we could play. Like Nigel said, they play a high line and it's not even naive. It's what they did against us in the earlier game was stupid. They just didn't want to drop off 5 yards and they paid the price because Kane was just like, all right, cool, I'm just going to ping 4 passes to Son. So if they do that again, that'll be the biggest confidence boost for City. But any other team, I'd be like, it's not going to be good. But Southampton's probably the best team we could play.
Southampton under Harston Huzel have lost by 9 goals or conceded 9 goals twice. Any manager that concedes 9 goals in any game, that's a hard one. But to do it twice.
Wasn't there talk about him, like people shouting out for him to come to Spurs?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to come around to all of you because
I'm not going to lie. I am going to say that I'm guilty for that one.
I'm going to come around to all of you. I'm going to start with you, Shai. Just give me your summation of the game and your thoughts about Spurs and what you think the next few days is going to bring.
Can I just ask one question quickly, Sam?
Sure.
If we get rid of, and this is a genuine question, right? If we get rid of Mourinho, say we get rid of Mourinho tomorrow, which I know that would bring a big smile on some of our faces, Deji particularly, who do we bring in? We have to bring a manager in.
That's the question I asked. Yeah.
Who do we bring in tomorrow? If Mourinho got sacked tonight, who do we bring in tomorrow, generally?
I don't have an answer.
Harry Redknapp said he'll do it for free. He said he'd do it for 100 quid a week. I'm sure he said that on Sky Sport. He said he'd do it 100 quid a week.
I'll take Eddie Howe.
In all seriousness, I don't.
Not a bad shot. I'd even have Tim
Eddie Howe. Fuck
Tim share with
Simon, go on, Simon. I want to hear Simon's words about Eddie. Come on, Simon. Talk to me. Eddie Howe. No.
It's a fucking yes, man. No way.
It's exactly why we're going to probably see Eddie Howe next season saying yes to every single Daniel Levy signing. He'll be like, yep, that's fine. I'll make use out of Sissoko.
But all seriousness, though, in terms of a plan, that I would say that Daniel Levy has sacked 14 managers in 20 years. He's the best one is knowing what to do in terms of this situation, in terms of, right, I'm going to need to do this. And he's probably had conversations behind the scene. There's always this talk about Nagelsmann. There's Nuno. There's this. I don't know. None of those managers are coming in this next. If let's say the scenario was Jose was sacked tomorrow, none of those managers are coming in. We're going to have to get a stopgap manager of some kind. So the shout about Eddie Howe, again, it might be something that they say to him, look, go to the end of the season. I could see that happening because he's a manager that would be a yes man. He would say, yeah, I'll do that for you. He may be able to get a bounce out of the players in terms of playing a formation that might suit them. But long term, I wouldn't want Eddie Howe at my club.
Can we not speculate this, please? Can we not speculate?
Also, I honestly don't think I don't think Eddie's a yes man myself. I do think I think he's got morals as to if he didn't. I think if he was proposed or there was a proposal made to him, I think if it didn't suit him, I don't think he'd take it.
Shy, what's your what we're gonna come back to the same question, but we kind of got hijacked when Simon was not having Eddie Howe. He was not having it. So I'm going back. Your summation of Spurs today. And where do you go from here? Okay. I like the Eddie Howe comment though. I do like, I rate it. I have that ratings on that. Shy, sorry.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I again, I've said this for a while. My expectation is Tottenham. I try not to have any expectation at the moment, and it's been like that for a while because then you don't get disappointed when you don't expect too much, and that Spurs all over, I'm afraid, and has been for a while. I mean, one of the things that really got to me that is it was the most uninspiring attacking performance tonight by those players. It was absolutely dreadful, other than Harry Kane's finishing. It was we touched upon it before. You're playing three centre backs, then you're looking for your wing backs to attack down the flanks. Nothing. The midfield was poor. All three of them. And so you got nothing from there. It was abject. It was absolutely abject. And I don't know going forward. It's very, very disheartening. That's all I can say, Sam. It's very disheartening. At the moment, I really don't know.
Draining. I think the word I use is draining because when I watched that game today, I was excited because of the fact that Everton not been on great form. I was just thinking we can turn this, we can do something. Jose's actually made check. I know the three at the back was probably in hindsight the way it was played wasn't played well, but if he'd have played that well, it could have worked. But some of the players again weren't. But then it just drained me. We saw so many similarities when they score and then we get the goal back and then it's like again it's like so draining that we have to go through this whole thing. The only good thing was that we went in at half time 1-1. We weren't actually winning the game. Had we been winning the game, we would have probably seen an even more defensive performance.
Imagine if we lost.
Oh yeah. God,
exactly.
Oh man, Simon, just come to you now. Just your final thoughts on the game and what your thoughts are about going forward.
Yeah, as Chai said there, it was a very bad performance tonight. I said before Kane's second goal, he had two touches off the ball. I mean, that just says it all. 2 touches off the ball in the second half before that second goal. I mean, it was non-existent at the attacking side. It was a very poor performance. And if it wasn't for Harry Kane, where the hell would this club be this season? But going forward, you know me, I am Mr. Positive, and we're still getting top 4 in the Carabao Cup, guys. Come on.
Sissoko for captain.
Sissoko for captain.
Sissoko captain to the end of the season. No, guys, be truthful on it. I still say we will have a say in this cup final, even without Kane. I do say because. If there's one man, I know these guys on the board tonight are not happy with Jose and they want him out. There's one man who's going to win a cup final for us and going out saying, yes, I won you a cup, is Jose Mourinho, me personally. So there's no one around at the minute. And that's Eddie Howe. I'm telling you now, he's not the flipping one. I'm telling you. That guy is. But me personally, I don't know if everyone saw what Keno said the other night with him and Jane Redknapp. We have been soft for 20 years. Soft touch for 20 years. And people, you can blame Jose Mourinho all day long. Yes, he hasn't done well at Tottenham Hotspur. But we have been soft for 20 years. This board has thrown 14 managers under the bus. We're not backing them. Trust me, under that. Trust me. You can say whatever you want about Jose Mourinho. Yes, he hasn't done well at Tottenham. But wherever he's gone, he's won trophies. The board hasn't backed these managers properly at his football club.
That will be coming in the
We've
next
been, we've been soft. We've been soft for 20 odd years, guys. All right.
That will be the part of the next show.
Let's not get it wrong. Okay, Sam. Yeah, let's not get it wrong. Right. You can slag Josie off as much as you want. The board are to blame.
Okay, Nigel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Go back and forth this time. I don't know if you'll get a chance to reply or whatever. But I just feel like number one, we have got miles softer just in the time we've been like. But anyway, I just think number one, I've gone into games now where we play a decent team, yeah, and I say to myself, yeah, I know we're not going to win this game. If we play a team that can actually retain a football and can defend competently, we go into big games. I just know there's no way for us to win. And as a Spurs fan, that's sad because I don't even feel like we have a puncher's chance. Do you know what I mean? And bar those two errors today, we don't really create anything. We didn't make anything again. It was a blunt performance. If Kane misses a few more games, I mean, top four is dead, but even if Kane misses a few more games, last time we played Chelsea, I said confidently we're not going to score a goal. I don't know where goals come from. If Kane, like literally, I don't know if Kane goes out, I wouldn't be shocked if we don't score another goal because we don't even create shots on target anymore. So, I mean, I'm just kind of done with this team at the moment. It is what it is. It doesn't hurt me as much anymore. I'm just ready for the end of the season.
Taking your soul. Is it taking your soul? That's what Thanos does. He takes souls. He takes souls.
It took my soul about 15 games ago. And now I'm free. It's like a superpower. I can laugh at these people.
Deji, come talk to me. Give your final summation on the game and thoughts going forward.
Yeah, look, I slightly disagree with you, Simon. I hear what you're saying. Slightly disagree. I don't think we were soft under Poch. I think actually we were just unfortunate. You know, we got to a Champions League final. We were consistently in the Champions League. We were playing good football. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, like you said, Poch wasn't backed. It was as simple as that. For me, going forward, I think it's simple. You know, we've got even with the players look bad and are bad because of the mismanagement of Jose. But the players are not that bad. We just need someone who knows how to coach. Facts. Mourinho is a manager, not a coach. This squad needs a coach, someone who can nurture them, someone who can put an arm around them, someone who's got tactics, someone can say, go boys, go and play, be your best. And I think that's what Spurs has to do. I saw a question, who's got the bigger rebuild, Spurs or Arsenal? The truth is, despite Arsenal's result yesterday, they are a worse side than our team, thank God. You know, at least they're going through hell themselves. But we've all got to be brave as fans and say, look, we get a new person in the job. I think we only need to sort out, for me, centre back and right back. Reguilon is a quality player. I think we sort that. There's 3 changes there, and we're back in the top 4. So, you know, although Jose is going to be in charge and we're going to lose the McDonald's Cup final, I've already come to terms. Nigel, I'm with you, mate. We can go out, have a drink. I've come to terms with that. Let's get it over and done with. Let's look forward. Let's get some new defenders in and let's have a good crack.
It feels like going to the dentist, innit? When you need to go get your wisdom tooth out or something, you just feel like you're just going to get hurt, but you're just going to have to do it anyway. But Darius, give me your final thoughts on the game. And
I'm going to echo my 2 Jose out boys on the right and below me. I'm going to have to, because I actually agree. I do think that we are being made to make our players look worse or think that our players are worse than they are. And I do agree with Deji. I think that why on earth did I know Levy I know he had a crush on Jose. I know he wanted him this whole time, but it was never going to work. Someone who wants a lot of power, a lot of control, with somebody who also wants a lot of power, a lot of control. You just need a coach to go and coach those boys, give them a system and get them to play like Deji said. And I also agree. I think that with the right signings and the right additions, I do believe that we could actually go quite far next season or even jump up to at least top 5, top 4. So yeah, the game. And then, just shortly on the game, it's a nothing game. It's just poor. It's awful. So you don't really want to talk about it. I just want to see progress. I do want to see progress. That's the one thing. Yes, Arsenal have a worse squad than us, but they still have FA Cups and they're still in the semi-final of the Europa League. And it's only really Man United that's stopping them. So we've got nothing to show for it, and they do. So I just want to be able to say, I just want something to show for it, or I want to see progress, and I'm not seeing anything yet. So I want to see something. That's all I want to do, is see something.
And Mike, we'll finish with you, Mr. Hotspur Hustler. Give us your final thoughts.
Just very quickly on the game, I don't think we can play any worse than what we did today without actually losing. Yeah, we got. I'll go back very quickly. I don't think number 17 was our worst player on the pitch. I think Højbjerg was, and I think Reguilon was bad. But we know that those guys 9 times out of 10 will perform at a standard that we've all become used to seeing, and we know they're good players, etc. So I'm not too concerned about a one-off performance. But going forward with Spurs, I actually think perhaps that we, as a squad, I think Pochettino perhaps overachieved with the players that we have at our disposal at the moment. And
I would agree with that.
And I think we all have sort of jumped onto the bandwagon of expectation as to we should be a top 4 club. And I honestly think with and this is probably well, it is praise to Pochettino. He shows he is a very good coach because of what he achieved. Although he didn't win anything, we were a stable top 4 club. We got into Champions League. But I think now, and I don't entirely blame Mourinho for this, but I think it's evident that this squad that we've got, although we might, if a new manager comes in, we might be able to sort of pick up on performance. But I honestly think if they keep the same, or the bulk of the same squad, I think we'll just come back to this same scenario in 18 months' time, and it'll be like, well, what do we do about the manager? So for me, for us to go forward in the summer, I think he needs to really revamp the whole of the back line, or revamp the squad defensively, in order for us. Because attacking wise, I think we can score against any team in the country, even in Europe. We can score against anyone. That isn't the issue. Our issue is defensive. Defensively, there's too many players in that squad that make mistakes, and until those players are gone, the mistakes will just continue to happen. So until that is addressed, I think we're going to be in the same situation until it's sorted out, if it gets sorted out. And like Simon says, unless Levy does dip his hand in his pockets and backs whoever that manager might be going forward to take us forward, we're always going to be here. We're always going to be criticising the players that continue to make mistakes. And it's obvious, if you continue to make mistakes at the highest level, we're never going to get anywhere. We can go on all day about we all know here who the players are that need to go. Surely, if us guys, without that managerial expertise that the likes of Mourinho, etc., have, surely it must be evident to them as well. So, yeah, I don't expect much for the rest of the season. If we get top 6, cool. If we manage to fluke the McDonald's Cup, cool.
Which is now been known as. It's now completely known as that.
But the problem is, and we'd have to we might have to persevere with it, is that if we do get top 6 and the Cup, Mourinho might stay.
He might stay anyway. That's the real thing. And I just want to end on this comment here. I think this is probably a good comment to end on. The sad thing is, for all us fans, we'll be at the stadium no matter what. Players and managers come and go, but we'll always be here. So that says it all. You know what I mean? We are fans. We have to go through these. We've seen so many, you know, if guys are old enough to remember some of them 90s days, terrible days as Spurs fans. Terrible days. So I think we can't. Sorry, I was just gonna say we can't go all the way back and start really ripping up the whole, because we were really bad then. We've had a good period. We were probably overachieving under Poch, but we had from the Martin Joel era really we started to steadily improve over the ENIC era. So I'm not just going to throw ENIC under the bus, because I look at the 20 years before ENIC and the 20 years since they've been in, we are in much better shape, have had much better league finishes. So the board have done something. Whether they've done enough, that's a completely different conversation. But at this moment in time, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to see the team that had played in a 2019 Champions League final. I remember going to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium full of energy, just really wanted to see my team lift that trophy and be able to say, yes, we've won the big ear trophy. And to see where we are now, that's really draining. And that's what I'm saying. It's draining watching Spurs. And we shouldn't feel like this.
Yeah.
We shouldn't.
And that's why I think we've been spoiled by Pochettino and what he managed to overachieve that squad of players. I honestly,
I hope he wins the Champions League because he deserves it.
Well, that's the thing, though, Darius. He's gone to PSG, and Spurs aren't on the same wavelength financially as PSG, so he's got money there to burn, like it's pocket money.
But
and
Mike, what I will say,
he's got Mbappe, Neymar. He's got top.
I was just going to say, if you notice though, he got and this is the thing that made me go, yeah, Poch might actually be serious. He got those two players to work hard and almost basically play as left wing back and right wing back, and that made me think, okay, if he can get those guys motivated to work hard, then that shows you're a good coach. And I just think that I've learned over this Jose tenure that man management is a lot more important than just being able to be a tactically good coach or a tactically able coach. And he's kind of seeming to not have both of them at the moment, and that's why I'm getting a bit worried. But all I want to say is I got the 2-2 right, and so did Shai. So shout out to Shai. That's I'm on 2 in a row at the moment. So 2 in a row at the moment. So I'm looking forward to the next.
Do you want to have a little say? I know you took your mic off there.
Yeah, no, just my last thought, Darius, I totally agree with you. Mike, I totally agree. No, the only thing is my last little bit of financial advice, and this is for another show. I actually see Poch winning the Champions League with PSG this season.
I'd be happy for him.
I think, Sam, we need to take this up in another show for sure. But I'd be really happy for him. I do see Poch coming back to Spurs. I do see, he's already kind of indicated that. And I want him to do it. So he's won the trophies and he can take that little hoodoo off his neck and then come back and finish off the rebuild. Because I feel like he knows he's got unfinished business with us and we want him to come home.
The thing is, with that squad, at PSG, he should be winning that Champions League. I mean, he's got an abundance of talent in that PSG side.
But the thing is, with that talent, though, he's getting them to work at a lot higher pace than the previous manager, and they are looking likely to win that Champions League. I hope they do, and I hope he does decide once he's done that and he's won a couple of league titles with them that he's going to say, you know what, I'm going to go back to Spurs. I hope that happens. Ladies and gentlemen.
30-year-old Harry Kane will be waiting. 34-year-old Harry Kane will be waiting for him.
Thank you all for watching. We hope, I wouldn't say it's been an enjoyable show. It's certainly been one that we've bared our souls, and that's what we do. We always show up. We always give everything on this show. And thank you to my guests, all of you, for coming on and doing this, because not everybody does this. Not every team does this and comes on at the end of a disappointing result and bears their soul like we have. So like, subscribe, share, comment. If you've enjoyed everything Paxton Road TV, please make sure you leave comments in the comment section below. And we will hopefully see you. Well, I hope to see you for the next review show. We've got talking points coming up on Tuesday. And then we've got the preview show on Monday for the Southampton game and the reaction show for the Southampton on Wednesday. And then I was going to say we can look forward to the cup final, but I don't know about looking forward. Anyway, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you very much. And we will be going out with this.